Very good morning, children. Yesterday class, what a first year English medium, fifth chapter continuation, morphology of flowering plants. Yesterday class, we completed about the flower, detailed information about the flower. What are the parts of the flower? Okay, everything we completed in yesterday class, especially parts of a plant: androecium, gynoecium, calyx, corolla. Okay, about these parts we discussed. Okay, and especially based on the position of the ovary, with respect to the position of the ovary, how the calyx, corolla, androecium are arranged. Based on that, here you can see flowers are mainly three types. Okay, hypogynous, perigynous and epigynous. So these topics yesterday we completed. So now today class we are going to start what are the important parts of a flower. Parts of a flower. Parts of a flower. Especially you can see flower mainly contain four parts. Okay, one is the calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Okay, these are the common parts you can see in flower: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Now here you can see how the parts are arranged. So with the help of the diagram, we came to know more information about the parts of a flower, especially datura. Especially in datura flower, you can see how what are the floral parts are arranged, especially in datura. So with the example of the datura flower, we came to know what are the parts of a flower. So this is the datura flower diagram. With the help of the datura flower, we came to know more about the floral parts. The arrangement of floral parts we came to know detailedly with the help of datura flower. So this is the datura flower. This is the datura flower. Floral parts we can see clearly in datura flower. Floral parts we can see clearly in datura flower. So here you can see this is the ovary. This is the ovary. This is the ovary, stigma, style stigma. Okay, here you can see stamens. Okay. Okay. Bract. So here these are the floral parts of the datura flower. Here you can see this is the thalamus. Here, this is the thalamus. This is the thalamus. This is the bract. Okay, this is the calyx. Okay, calyx means sepals. Okay, corolla. Calyx means sepals, petals. This is the ovary. This is the style. This is the stigma. These are the filament. This is the anther. Anther is also called pollen sac. Okay, so these are the mainly floral parts of a flower. Especially you can see this is the datura flower. In datura flower you can see these are the floral parts. On the thalamus, floral parts are arranged on 4 rows. Okay, now we are going to start the parts of a flower. With the example we are going to take the datura flower. So you can see each flower normally has 4 floral rolls, means circles. Each flower normally having 4 floral rolls. 4 rolls. Okay, in 4 rolls only all the floral parts are developed on the 4 floral rolls. So that are already calyx, corolla, endoecium, gynoecium. Okay, these are present at different nodes on the thalamus. Okay, these 4 parts are present on the different nodes of the thalamus. Already 4 rods are there. Each rod is specific to having particular part. So these 4 parts are present on the 4 different nodes on the thalamus. For what is the thalamus? The stalk of a flower, pedicel. Pedicel is bulged, the bulge-like structure, that is called thalamus. This thalamus having 4 rods at 4 different nodes. In each rod they have particular parts. The first rod calyx, second rod corolla, third rod endoecium, fourth rod gynoecium. So on each rod they are having different parts. So the first one, what is the calyx? Okay, so here calyx is the outermost roll of the flower. This is the outermost roll. This is the outermost circle. Calyx is present in outer circle. Okay, calyx is the outermost roll of the flower, and these calyx, these members are called sepals. This calyx is composed of sepals. This calyx is composed of sepals. Okay, this is the outermost roll of the flower, calyx. The calyx is composed of sepals. So generally sepals are green in color. These are leaf-like structures. This can protect the flower in bud stage. In bud stage, the flowers are protected with the help of a green leafy structure. The green leafy structure is called calyx. Okay, the calyx here, all these calyxes are united, means combined. Suppose calyx composed of sepals. These all sepals are united, or these all sepals are separated. Suppose if all the sepals are united, that we termed as gamosepalous. Okay, we termed as gamosepalous. Gamosepalous means if all sepals are united, all the sepals are joined, so that type of the sepals we call gamosepalous. For example, if the sepals are separated, that we call polycephalous. Gamosepalous, polycephalous. Gamosepalous means sepals are united. Polycephalous means sepals are free. Sepals are not combined. Sepals are free. So this is about the calyx. Calyx is next, second one, corolla. But here you can see corolla is composed of petals. The corolla is composed of petals. The corolla contains petals. The corolla is composed of petals. These petals are usually bright color to attract the insects for pollination. Okay. So here, like calyx, corolla also united or they are separated. Okay. Suppose if the corolla are united, they are called gamocephalus. Gamopetalus. If the corolla are free, they are polypetalous. Okay, polypetalous. Gamopetalus and polypetalus. If the corolla is combined, all the corollas are combined. Okay, that we call what? Gamopetalus. If the corolla are separated, they are free, that we term as polycephalus. Okay, gamocephalus and polycephalus. Okay, these are the types of the petals. Okay, so here the shape and color of the petals also different in different plants. Color also different, shape also different. For example, the corolla may be bright color to attract the insects. So in some plants, the corolla is tube-like structure. The corolla may be tubular. In some plants, the corolla may be tube-like structure. Best example, disc florets of Asteraceae family. Disc florets of Asteraceae, and especially in Datura flower, the corolla is a funnel shape. The corolla is funnel shape in Datura flower. Especially in Ocimum, Tulasi, in Ocimum plants, the corollas are bilipped, which are separately bilipped. So these are the shapes of the corolla. Especially tube-like structure. What is the example? Disc florets of Asteraceae. Disc florets of Asteraceae family, especially sunflower tridents. So the corolla is tube-like structure, especially disc florets of Asteraceae family. Especially in Datura, the corolla is funnel shape. In Datura, the corolla is funnel shape. Best example, Datura. In some flowers, the corolla is bilipped. Best example, Ocimum, bilipped. Best example, Ocimum. Bilipped best example, Ocimum. Tulasi. Okay, funnel shape, Datura. Okay, so these are the different shapes of the corolla. These are the different shapes of the corolla. Here, one more thing, one of the important topic now. What is aestivation? Aestivation, one of the important topic, aestivation. Or what is aestivation? Or how many types of aestivation generally we can see? Aestivation means the arrangement of sepals and or petals in floral bud. In floral bud, how the sepals or petals are arranged. The arrangement of sepals or petals on the floral bud, that is called aestivation. This aestivation is mainly 4 types. One is valvate aestivation, second one is valvate, second one twisted, third one imbricate, fourth one vexillary. Okay, fourth one vexillary. So these are the 4 types of the aestivation. Aestivation means the arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud. That is called aestivation. Here it is mainly 2 types. One is it is mainly 4 types. One is valvate. One is valvate aestivation. One is valvate. Second one twisted. Second one twisted. Third one imbricate. third one imbricate, and especially fourth one auxiliary. Okay, fourth one auxiliary. So these are the four types of the estuations. Okay, na? Valvate, twisted, imbricate, and auxiliary. Okay, auxiliary. Auxiliary. So these are the four types of the estuation. Mari for the four types here they given the special diagram. Okay, first here you can see first one what are valvate. In this valvate estuation, especially when sepals or petals, they are arranged in a row, in a roll. They are arranged in a roll in a circle. So they just touch one another at the margin without overlapping. Without overlapping, just the margins of sepals or petals are just touch without overlapping. Whenever these sepals or petals, these are arranged in rolls. Whenever these sepals or petals are in roll, just touch one another at the margin without overlapping. Without overlapping, just they can touch the margin of the sepals or petals. Just they can touch without overlapping. So that type of the estuation is called valvate estuation. Best example, Calotropis. Best example, Calotropis, Gilead. Best example, Calotropis. Here you can see Nani, Calotropis. So here, sepals and petals, they may not touch each other. Sepals and petals, they may not touch each other. Just the margins, the margin of the sepals or petals they touch, but they are not overlapping. Just the margin of the, here you can see Nani clearly. Here you can see the margin of the sepals or petals they can touch, but they may not overlapping. This one is not overlapping with another, and the one should not overlap on another. Best example, Calotropis. Okay, Calotropis. Okay, Calotropis. Best example, Calotropis. Okay. Next, Mari, what is twisted? In twisted estuation, the margin of one sepal or petal overlap the next one. The margin of one sepals or petals overlap another one. Okay, so the margin of one overlap the next one. Best example, hibiscus. Margin, if the margin of here you can see Nani, if the margin of one overlap to another, here you can see here overlapping. Here overlapping is there. Here this one overlap the next one. Okay, here you can see clearly, and this one overlap the next one. Okay, overlapping. See, best margin of one sepal or petal overlap to the next one. Here overlapping. So this type of the estuation is called twisted. Best example, hibiscus. Best example, hibiscus. Best example, hibiscus. Next, but what is imbricate? Especially in imbricate, if margin of one sepal or petal overlap another but not in any particular direction. Overlapping is there but not any like this particular direction. Okay, if the margin of one sepal or petal overlap the another one but not in particular direction, so that type of the aestivation is called imbricate aestivation. Best example Cassia auriculata, tangedu cassia. Best example Cassia auriculata. This is the imbricate. Best example Cassia auriculata. Here you can see overlapping is there but not in particular direction. Overlapping is there but not in particular direction. Okay, overlapping is there but not in particular direction. Okay, overlapping is there but not in particular direction. Overlapping is there but not in particular direction. Here you can see that overlapping is there but not in particular direction. See, overlapping is there but like this. Here continue overlapping but here not a particular direction. Overlapping is there but not in particular direction. Best example Cassia auriculata. Best example Cassia auriculata. Okay, but what is vexillary? This is also called papilionaceous. This is vexillary is also called papilionaceous. Papilionaceous. Okay, vexillary is also called papilionaceous. Vexillary is also called what, Nani? Papilionaceous aestivation. Here you can see best example peas or beans. Best example peas or beans. Best example. But what happened in peas or beans? There are 5 petals are there. The largest one. There are 5 petals are there now. The largest one. This is which is called standard. The largest one which is called standard. The largest one overlap the 2 lateral petals. The largest one overlap the 2 lateral petals. Here you can see. The largest one overlap the 2 lateral petals. The largest one overlap the 2 lateral petals. These are called wings, and these wings may overlap 2 smallest petals. Here the 2 smallest petals are there that are called keel petals. Here you can see 2 smallest petals are there. The 2 smallest petals are called keel petals. So this type of the aestivation is called vexillary. This is also called papilionaceous aestivation. Best example here you can see peas or beans. Here one largest petal is there. This is called standard. Okay, remaining 2. This is the largest one standard. This is standard petal overlap the lateral petals. These 2 lateral petals are called wings. These 2 are called wings. These lateral 2 overlap the smallest petals. These 2. These are called keel. So largest one overlap the 2 lateral. Largest petal overlap the 2 lateral petals. These 2 lateral petals again overlap the 2 smallest petals. Largest petal is called standard. 2 lateral are called wings. 2 very smaller and smaller are called keel. So this type of the aestivation is called papilionaceous or vexillary aestivation. So far we completed 4 types of the aestivation. The first one is valvulate aestivation. Best example Chenotropis. But in this valvulate aestivation, the margins of the sepals or petals are touched without overlapping. The second one twisted aestivation. Best example hibiscus. In this, the margin of one sepal or petal overlap the next one. Here, this one overlapping, this one overlapping, this one overlapping. So one petal or sepal overlap the next one. So this type of the aestivation is called twisted aestivation. Best example hibiscus. Third one imbricate. Imbricate means the margin of one sepal or petal overlap the next one, but not in particular direction. Not a continuously, not a particular direction in any of the direction, but not in any particular direction. So that type of the aestivation is called imbricate aestivation. Best example Cassia auriculatum. The last one, vexillary aestivation, that is also called papilionaceous aestivation. Best example peas or beans. The largest one overlap the lateral two overlap the smallest two. So this is the vexillary with examples. So these are all the different type of the aestivations we are discussed in today class. What is aestivation? The arrangement of sepals or petals in floral bud, that is called aestivation. So far we completed all the floral parts, especially 2 floral parts we completed, about calyx, about corolla and aestivation. Now the third one, androecium. Okay, now we are going to start the third floral part, the third one. Third one what? Androecium. Third one, androecium. Third one, androecium. So androecium is the male reproductive part of the flower. Androecium is composed of stamens. These androeciums are composed of stamens. Here you can see androeciums are composed of stamen. Okay, so each stamen which is represented with male reproductive organ, which consists of, each stamen consists of filament. Each stamen consists of filament. Okay, above the on the filament you can see anther or pollen sac. Okay, so anther or pollen sac. Anther or pollen sac. Here you can see anther. This is the anther. This anther is also called pollen sac. Pollen sac. Okay. Androecium is composed of stamens. Each stamen contains mainly 2 parts. One is the filament. The another one is anther. Anther is also called pollen sac. So here you can see the anther is usually bilobed. There are 2 lobes are there. Here anther is bilobed. Here anther is bilobed. So anther is bilobed. Each lobe consists of 2 chambers. The 2 chambers are called here what? Okay, 2 chambers are called the same pollen sac. Pollen sac. Okay, the anther having bilobed. Each lobe having 2 pollen sac. Each lobe having 2 pollen sac. These pollen sac produce pollen grains. These pollen grains are the male gametes. Okay, the sterile stamens are called staminodes. The stamens which are unable to produce pollen grains, the sterile stamens are called staminodes. The sterile stamens are called staminodes. The sterile stamens are called staminodes. Here, stamen of a flower may be united or suppose sometimes these stamens united means combined with petals or among themselves. Stamens are combined with petals or among themselves also they can combine. So here the stamens are attached to the petals. They are called epipetalous. If the stamens are attached to the petals, they are called epipetalous. They are called epipetalous. They are called epipetalous. If the stamens are attached with petals, they are called epipetalous. Suppose in some, especially in lily flowers, already you know that in lily flower there is no difference between sepals and petals. They are called perianth. What we call perianth. Especially in lilies, the stamens are attached with perianth. So that type of the flower we called epiphyllus. 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 Epiphyllus means what? The stamens are attached to the perianth, especially in lily flowers, that are called epiphyllus. So here, so that is called epiphyllus. Next, the stamens in some flowers they remain free or they may be united. Stamens, so far what we discussed now. Stamens are united with petals and stamens are united with perianth. Epipetalous, epiphyllus. So sometimes the stamens are free, sometimes the stamens are united and form a bundle. For example, the stamens which are free, that are called polyandrous. That are called polyandrous. The stamens which are free, the stamens that may be remain free, they are called polyandrous. If they are united, if they are combined, they form a group. If they form one bundle, that we call another name. If the stamens are combined and form two groups, two bundles, sometimes they may form more than two bundles. So based on the bundle or based on the bunch, these stamens we call monoedelophus, diedelophus, polyedelophus. Three names are there. Suppose that the stamens are free, there is no groups. The stamens are free, so that we call polyandrous. Suppose if the stamens are combined and form bundles or bunches, one bundle is there, no? We call okay, that we call monoedelophus, diedelophus and polyedelophus. Okay, monoedelophus. One bundle there means monoedelophus. Two bundles are there, diedelophus. More than two bundles are there now, that is polyedelophus. Okay, polyedelophus. So this is about the complete information of the androecium. So tomorrow class we are going to continue. We are going to start the fourth part. That is what? Gynoecium. The gynoecium main also called pistil or carpel. The gynoecium contains mainly three parts: ovary, style, stigma. So about this topic we are going to discuss in tomorrow class. Okay, thank you children.